Hi, this is Jessica Crew with Let Her Sing. We're here today interviewing April Gerard, who is a business owner. She owns A.L. DeLeon Agency, which helps authors to market their books. So welcome, April.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me what you're currently doing with your business.
I am, obviously, like you said, I am the owner of A.L. DeLeon Agency, which is a marketing business that helps authors market their books and get the word out as to what their books are trying to say, the voice of the book, so to speak, to the right audience.
I'm curious, April, what it is that you really love about what you do. I mean, I know that you yourself are working on your authorship, but what is it that you really love about helping other authors to market their products?
I like being able to work with a variety of people, their backgrounds, they have different things they want to say, they have meaningful things that they want to say that are all within these books. They're different genres. I like the idea that I'm helping another person achieve a lifelong dream, something that they have worked very hard at for years sometimes. I mean, a book doesn't happen overnight, and I get to be that piece, that part of the puzzle that bridges the gap between, okay, now it's published, now how do we get it into the hands of the people that need it, that need to hear this voice that they have.
So tell me, how did you come up with the name A.L. DeLeon Agency? Where did that come from?
Well, as you know, I've been writing for years as kind of it started out as a hobby, but then I really got into it. I really liked doing it. I've actually written 3 novels. Not all of them, none of them are published, but they're at a point where I'm re-editing them, or I'm tweaking this or tweaking that before I feel comfortable submitting it. But A.L. DeLeon Agency came from what I wanted to use as my pen name. My first name is April. My middle name is Lee, L-E-E, like a guy, believe it or not. And DeLeon is just a really cool surname that I found. A friend of mine had mentioned it to me, and I thought, oh, that sounds really nice, and it goes together, that I'm going to use that for my pen name. And then when I became a business owner and started this marketing firm, I thought it would be a great name for the business, and I stuck agency on there because I wanted it to have a professional, really sound name, you know, like a name that said, we know what we're doing.
Yeah, and it definitely does. April, you had been pursuing your authorship for a while. Tell me how you made that transition from being a 9-to-5 worker to a business owner.
Well, I worked in the nonprofit industry for a number of years, and then funding kind of ran dry, so they had to make a decision to lay off their staff or not, and I was one of the staff members that was laid off. And I had to come I got to a point where I had to decide, am I going to continue working a 9-to-5 job to support my 3 kids as a single mom and not necessarily have the flexibility I needed to be able to give to my children and pursue my passions, you know, like writing? Or am I going to take a leap of faith and truly believe in myself and say, I can do this. I know I can do this. I have the ability to make this happen. And that's what I did, you know.
So it wasn't a thing where you were like, okay, I know I want to pursue writing, and I'm gonna just end my job and move into that arena. It more fell in your lap, right?
It feels that way. I mean, I've had people say to me, it kind of seems like you're being successful overnight, and that's not the case. I had spent almost 10 years learning the craft of writing several different novels. I have 3 novels at home that I haven't published, but that I've written, and learning what publishing means, how does it work, that sort of stuff. And so all of that led up to me being able to market other authors, and that's where A.L. DeLeon Agency came from.
Was there any moment where you really had some doubts about whether or not you could do what you were doing and be a business owner?
I think everybody has those at some point in time, but really, once I told myself and made myself realize that all the internal things that I have acquired as skill sets and all that makes me me is what makes me the best person to do this type of thing. And I realized there's no reason to have self-doubt because I have the innate ability to do this. Just like anybody else has that innate ability. When it's something that you're passionate about, when it's something that you believe in, then it just comes together.
Did you, I mean, you talked about having the confidence that you could do what you wanted to do, but managing authors wasn't something you had previously had experience with, correct?
No. I mean, when you work in the nonprofit industry, you automatically, I don't know if automatically is the right word, but you do marketing for the nonprofit. You work with the community and so forth, and all that is related to marketing authors, but I didn't realize that at first. I had always thought that I had to be an author first before I could help other authors manage their work, and that's not the case.
You had developed skills basically that helped you to do that job, and you hadn't necessarily put it together in your head that, oh, I could manage authors. I have the same skill sets that have been developed through my other job.
Yes.
Okay, April, so I have two final questions for you. The first one is, what advice would you give to aspiring authors? What is the kind of information that they need to know that will help prepare them to market the work that they are putting out there?
Well, a lot of authors are looking for, craft, how to make their craft better. What I would tell them, though, is to stop and realize that what you're making, even though it's a lifelong dream, to make a book, to get your voice out there, it's also a product. So do your homework. Make sure that you're looking at, what does the publishing industry really do? How does it really work? How does this relate to the business aspect of it? How can I make this my living? And what do I need to do as an author to make my passion become a reality by understanding the business part of it?
So number one, do your homework. And what about, do they need to know anything in particular about, is there anything socially or relationally they need to know in order to market their book?
Yes. Marketing is building that community relationship with your audience. So you have to develop a relational skill. That's something that I've found that authors, and not just authors, anybody that has a product that they want to sell, they don't always realize that they have to connect with their audience. They have to make that them want to know what it is you have, and that is a nuance that takes some time to learn sometimes.
And April, I notice, I follow you a little bit on your social media, and I notice that you do a really good job of that. You let people know what's going on in your life. You let them know the progress that's happening in your business without it being salesy or pitchy. You're just letting them know what's going on, and I think that that's a really great way to open the doors with people for communication. Now, my final question is, where can people go to learn more about you or to see your services?
I do have a website. It's www.aldeleon.agency, all one word. It's spelled ALDELEON agency.com. And I also have a Facebook page, but it's set up a little weird. It's capital A dot capital L dot capital D, De Leon Agency.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.